Yo, what is going on, guys? This is failing YouTuber Marvin, and I have for you guys today another YouTube gameplay. The gameplay you guys are going to be watching in the background today is a 39-2 team deathmatch on the map Frost using the M8A1 with the B2 3R as backup. Hopefully you guys enjoy that gameplay in the background. Now, I am going to just warn you right now, I die a very bullshit death from my controller dying, and I had it plugged into the Xbox, so I was holding down the button to turn it back on for about 15 seconds, I think. Maybe 10 to 15 seconds. It felt like a full minute, but it wasn't. And this kid, it was absolutely terrible at the game. He missed me so much, and he finally killed me. This is gonna make you really mad to watch. I'm just saying right now. But this is the gameplay I have because I haven't had a ton of time to play. I've been working really hard on my health class, so that's just kind of how it is. Hopefully this video isn't getting up too late because I actually have been working really hard on both my next edit, which should be up tomorrow, and my health class, both, you know, I gotta get that done to graduate. So I'm gonna tell you guys a little bit about myself for those of you guys who are new to the channel. Anybody who's been watching me for even a week now probably already knows these things. I'm a senior in high school, and I have the worst teacher on earth. Now, you guys are probably seeing this in the title and thinking, oh, this is exaggerated, Marvin. She's not the worst teacher on earth. Yes, this is the worst teacher on earth. Now, I mean, yeah, there might be some worse teacher somewhere in a different country, but in the US, at the very least, she is the worst teacher. This teacher is terrible. I've been in a good 4 or 5 different schools throughout my years of just school in general, you know, grade school 1 through 12. And I've met a bunch of different teachers, some really good, some pretty bad. I mean, there was one teacher where my sister didn't get her grades for a good month, and it was like the school year was about to end, and she had an F in the class just because the teacher wasn't updating the grades. There was a teacher that I had in 8th grade that was my English teacher. She was really strict, and we all just kind of hated her. But then looking back, I'm like, you know, she helped me work harder, and she was actually a pretty damn good teacher. She was an excellent teacher. But, you know, it was because I was younger, more immature, and I just didn't really know, and I just thought, oh, this is a terrible teacher. But she was actually a really good teacher. She taught the stuff, and, you know, she made me work hard for a reason. It helped me become a harder worker and more diligent. But Mrs. C, she's just kind of all of this stuff. She's strict, like, kind of too strict, and if that makes any sense. Like, she won't even let me go to the bathroom twice in one period, because I had to go to the bathroom twice in one period. I mean, I actually had to. It wasn't me going on my phone, screwing around, texting people, stuff like that. You know, it was actually, I had to go to the bathroom, like I have a weak bladder, so that really just bothered me. She said I have to get a doctor's note for that. I'm like, I'm just against that. That honestly seems so stupid to me, getting a doctor's note for taking a piss twice in one period. That's not okay, man. That's actually not okay. But anyway, I've pretty much given the backstory. Oh yeah, if I didn't already mention, I call my English teacher Mrs. C, which stands for Mrs. Cunt. It's not her actual name, but it's what I'm going to call her because I believe that's what she is. She's a cunt, you know? But anyway, that's pretty much all the backstory I need. We had a job fair on Thursday. This is Sunday when I'm making this video, okay, guys? This story was from Thursday. I think this will be a pretty good story. Hopefully you guys will enjoy it. We had a job fair. If you guys don't know what that is, I go to like a career-based school. The school is kind of based on teaching us to, you know, work a job. Like I'm in carpentry class for the first 2 hours of the day. That's when the job fair was. So all these different companies basically had their tables set up. They had like some business cards out. They had some free stuff. The guy that I talked about in the other video that yelled, "Vote for Bernie!" He walked by me, he had like 12 pens in his pocket. He had like that shirt pocket, the titty pocket as I call it. He had like 20 pens in there. He was just straight up stacking up on pens. I don't even know why. I asked him, he's like, free stuff. It was so funny. But yeah, that guy's just a hilarious guy in general. He's just funny. He's such a nutcase. But I got some free stuff. I got like a bouncy ball. My friends were throwing that around and stuff. I got some piece of candy, some different stuff. And, you know, some free stuff's cool. But I was actually kind of focused. Like, last year we had this career fair, and I was just shaking hands being like, oh, when is this going to be over? But now I was trying to talk to people, listen to them, because I know that after I get out of high school, I need to get some kind of job. So I picked up 10 to 15 business cards there and put that in my wallet. I got a bunch of different applications. I've just got a big folder with a huge amount of applications and flyers and stuff like that. You know, just stuff talking about the companies. And a lot of these companies make a good $20,000 a year. That's how much you can make from. So my birthday is in June, and that's when I turn 18. A lot of these jobs, you have to be 18. Speaking of which, dude, I put false information on Skype. I put that my birthday was today. Apparently, I didn't even know. I got a bunch of messages on Skype saying happy birthday, and I had to tell them all that I put BS info, because I think my old Skype, I forgot my password, and then I had to put new information, and I was too lazy to put my actual info in, so I just put BS stuff. I probably put that I was like 30 years old or something. I don't really know. We went to this job fair, and Mr. L, our carpentry teacher, gave us this assignment where we were supposed to ask the people that behind the tables that were representing the company, recruiters I think they're called, we were supposed to ask them 3 different questions. So we did that, and it was a very easy assignment, you know. We could have gotten it done in 10 minutes and gone back to carpentry class, but then we'd just be sitting there. So I invested my time well. I shook as many hands as I possibly could. I did the very best that I possibly could. And, you know, I've got a bunch of different contact information because of that now. In other classes, I think our teachers gave us some extra credit homework. Like, we had the option to do it, but we didn't have to. I didn't really do it. I mean, honestly, as long as I pass the classes, I don't really have a problem with it. I'd rather actually listen to what the people are saying than ask these BS questions my teachers are giving me that are, like, irrelevant to what I want to know. The only thing I really want to know is what the hours are, when I can start working, if they're actually hiring, and what the pay is. Not some of these BS questions like, I don't even know what questions, man. It's just some really dumb questions. What's your favorite thing about the company? I don't really care what a certain person's favorite thing about the company is. It doesn't really matter to me. It just doesn't seem important. So my 6th period class is health, and I have to be doing health every single day. I have to be working on it really hard because it's a year's worth of work in under a semester, and now I'm doing another semester's worth of work in under a quarter. That's really what it's at now, so I gotta be working really hard on that class. I got a bunch of quizzes and tests, exams, stuff like that I need to be taking during that class, and then Mrs. C's class is 7th period. So oftentimes I have to show up late to Mrs. C's class, but I always bring a note. I make sure that my guidance counselor who helps me with that class puts in the passwords when I need to take a test, stuff like that. I always make sure she gives me a note, and I hand that to Mrs. C, and I'm like, okay, I'm good to go, you know, no problem. And I get to take a piss before I go into her class, so it's, you know, a good thing, so I'm not, like, having to hold in my pee, because that sucks, especially during a full 30-plus minute bus ride. That sucks. So anyway, I show up to her class late on Thursday, and, you know, I give her the note, and she's like, oh, why are you showing up late to my class? She's literally giving me shit about this when I showed up late with a note. Like, I had the note. That's not even a problem, you know? Like, it shouldn't be a problem at all. Hand the person the note, not a problem at all, you're good to go, like any other teacher would do. But she starts giving me shit about that, and I was just kind of annoyed by it, but I'm like, okay, it's whatever. So we have these things in our class called bell ringers, if you guys don't know what that is. It's like a little question you have to do at the beginning of class, and I always make sure I do them because she has these tests on these sheets, the bell ringer sheets, at the end of the year, and this is actually a pretty big test that can help your grade out a lot, so I always make sure to do them. So I was working on this while she's sitting here trying to explain this assignment to me. I'm zoned out. I'm focused on these bell ringers. I'm actually making sure that I'm getting them done, and she just kind of said what it is, and she didn't actually have the instructions on the piece of paper, which is just really stupid, man. Like, if you're a teacher, you should have the instructions on the piece of paper and explain it. Like, if you have one or the other, some people are going to be confused. Not necessarily everyone, but somebody's going to be confused. And if you're a good teacher, you don't want anyone to be confused. So anyway, she explained this. It kind of went over my head because I was focused on doing the other thing. And it was basically this assignment where we were supposed to write some kind of one-page paper about these questions that relating to a job, kind of similar questions to the other one. So I saw this paper and I assumed, hey, we're just supposed to go answer the questions and have the people answer them for us, you know, that are at the job fair. So I went and did that, and the rest of the class is kind of sitting out in the hall. I go to the certain room where the job fair is at, and I go around, I'm like asking the questions. I get them all done. We had like 10 minutes left in the day because, well, the period and the day both, because it's the last class of the day, and it's 30 minutes long when the other ones are like 40. I get done. I finally finish. I was like wearing my coat because we had to take our stuff with me. I had to take my coat, all that stuff, and I'm like getting everything done. I'm like, oh man, I'm done. I am such an overachiever. I hand her in the paper, and she says, Marvin, you're supposed to write a paper, and like, you didn't tell me this. And then she has the audacity to give me shit. Yes, Audacity, the program I'm recording this with right now. She has the motherfucking audacity to tell me that I showed up late to her class with a note. Yeah, you forgot to mention that I brought a note, right? But then she tells me that I showed up late to her class, and that's why I should have, like, already known, I guess. She just assumes that if I show up 10 minutes late, that I have ears that, like, I can hear, good enough hearing that I can hear all the way down the hall, you know, while I'm in the middle of focusing on this test. Actually focusing on the test, not like, screwing around, you know? Not, like, standing out in the hall listening or anything. I'm actually taking a test. Like, if I show up late, that's your responsibility as a teacher to show me what I'm doing and what exactly I need to be doing and make sure that the person hears you. Like, damn, dude, I don't know. I don't think there's honestly a worse teacher out there than Mrs. C, but I think this video is going to be too long if I make this go on any longer, so leave a like if you guys enjoyed the video and or want to see more stories about Mrs. C, or hear them, I should say. Subscribe for more if you haven't already. Follow me on social media. Links will be down in the description below. Have a sexy day, guys.